The Northtown News Magazine is brought to you in part by eVoter. eVoter is proud to be a sponsor of the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to Northtown News Magazine.
I'm Marty Levinson, and you're watching Northtown News Magazine.
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned to the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, Sweet Hope, Chicago. 22 is 4, 446. Come on, baby, now.
Hi there, I'm the real Marty Levinson.
Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Thank you, Marty. It is election time. And you know what? Right now, we're looking at less than 3 weeks to go before election, and I hope all of you are going to go out there and vote. And this is the best time possible to bring in the leading election lawyer in the state of Illinois. By the way, check our website out, ntnm.org, communitypolicingcaps24.org. Thanks, Sonny Hirsch. And hi, Kathleen. You get an extra one. Anyway, we're talking about James P. Nally. Jim, how you doing?
Great, and thanks for having me on again, Avi.
First of all, thank you. You know, it's Jim gets a look at most people running for office much more so than other people, and from a whole different level. And of course, some of this stuff is legal privilege, and but it's got to give you a lot of insight into people's character and who's running.
You can learn a lot about a person when you get a chance to see them in an election contest type of a case.
Yeah, quite a bit, isn't it? It's always interesting to me because, sometimes a lot of times, the person you might think is the shining white knight yelling to stop corruption are some of the sleaziest, most slanderous. And you know what? Just because they haven't been in office yet doesn't mean that they don't have a future as a corrupt politician. They just haven't had the opportunity.
But they might have the skill set.
They definitely. I want to tell you something. When I take a look at Tony Preckwinkle's campaign people, and I see the continual slander on Facebook from Scott to slander of Sissick, it's unbelievable to me. And she's supposed to be the white knight and all that. I can only imagine what this guy's going to do given a chance. And with no administrative experience either, being alderman is not administrative experience. I'm sorry, Mrs. Preckwinkle, but you know what? It just.
Well, you know what? Terry O'Brien's running a campaign, and he's emphasizing what he's accomplished, and that's the big difference in this field. He's already gotten this job done. Everybody else can promise, well, I will do this, or I'm going to try to do this, or here's my plan, and it may work or it may not. Terry has been the president of the Water Reclamation District for 13 years. It's a $1.6 billion agency, the fourth largest government agency in the state of Illinois, and in that time, he's gotten the job done. The results are there. There's a AAA bond rating. AAA bond rating people don't understand, but it's a very important thing. It really designates the best run private and public companies in the United States. AAA bond rating allows you to borrow money at a much better rate than anybody else can borrow it. But really what it says is that the bond rating service has checked you out, and whether you're a public agency like the Water Rec, where Terry O'Brien's been president, or a private corporation, they've looked at everything and said this is an extremely well-run organization. It's extremely sound financially, and that's why it's getting the highest rating that you can get. And Terry's done that. Contrast that with Cook County now, and the financial disaster that Cook County is, and raising the sales tax, to the highest sales tax in the nation, in order, rather than looking in these particular times where people are losing their jobs, losing their homes, and saying, you know what, the answer isn't trying to, drain more tax money out of people. It's making government more efficient and making it more responsive and helping the people who need it.
Yeah, it's people just, he's got a proven track record. It bothers me. You see all this slander coming from they talk about, there's problems with the back of the water reclamation place. They're stopping somebody from building a hotel. and they don't realize things like, well, the crane that's going to be there is going to block access to things like emergency exits and employee
Well, think about
exits.
this. Think about this on that particular issue. You have a piece of public property that somebody wants to take for a private use. Now, is that right?
No, not at all.
That
Not
would
at all.
like you and I going over to the park and fencing off a section and saying, well, this is our park now.
Yeah, as if it's not going to cost a lot of money to go build something somewhere else or go rent something somewhere else. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well,
And-
I think it demonstrates a couple things. With Terry O'Brien, he looks at a situation and he's not afraid to make a hard decision. And if it's the right decision, he's not afraid to stand by it.
Yeah, and some of the Monday morning quarterback stuff I see from, it's like people complain about that maybe they didn't get the absolute single last dollar on some deal. When, you know what, if you look at the overall record, and of course, the market changes from one day to the next. And
Avi,
from
you
one
don't get a
minute to the next.
you don't get a AAA bond rating by making bad financial decisions.
That's exactly the point.
That's the whole bottom
exactly
line.
what I'm. It's like, guys, you want a how many people get AAA ratings? There's nobody else around here with the AAA rating governmentally, and these guys got a AAA rating, and you're Monday morning quarterbacking them. And you know what? They didn't lose any rating points for that deal. They did the best deal they possibly could at the time. The slander has got to stop because people talk about good government. People don't realize what Terry does. Terry, as far as I'm concerned, is the poster boy for good government. He's you don't see he's so less known right now because he doesn't get into scandals. He doesn't get into trouble. It's only when he starts running for higher office and all of a sudden people want to start pointing fingers and they have to make up what they're saying. It's ridiculous.
Well, he's got a tremendous record to run on. That's what he's running on, and people are finding that out now through the media and the commercials that have been running on TV and the literature they're getting in their mailbox. And his story's getting out, and it's a tremendously good story, and it's the right story for Cook County right now because the Office of Cook County Board President controls a $3 billion budget. And you've got somebody here in Terry who has run a $1 billion budget himself. He knows how to run it responsibly. He knows how to run it competently. He knows how to run it without beating people to death on taxes. And that's what he's going to bring when he's elected Cook County Board President.
And I don't think there's the guy's got a great record. And something too, he is so respected. You talk to the people that work in water rec. One of my favorite comments actually is from an old-time politician who told me, you know what, Terry's not like the rest of us. And I said, huh? He says, yeah, if he says he's going to do something, he actually does it. It surprises people.
Well, you know what, it's a very professional organization, and Terry is committed to doing as they do at the Water Rec. Everybody at the Water Rec has to take an examination to get their job there and show that they're qualified to do that job. And that's one of the things he's committed to do in Cook County. There'll be a similar system there to make sure that only qualified people are getting jobs and that busboys don't become $60,000 a year supervisors overnight.
and another thing too, no, it's definitely true. He's also through natural attrition, even though he took on the additional responsibilities of sewage disposal or the
Stormwater management.
Yeah,
stormwater
management. He's actually gone from 3,000 employees to 2,200 employees during that time. I mean. And not only that, the silly stuff about disinfection that people are talking about. First of all, Terry, they're not ignoring it over at the Water Rec. They're actually, the University of Illinois, they commissioned them to go to do a scientific survey to see what disinfection will do. But you know what? All these people like Todd Connor and that whole Preckwinkle crowd, they want to disinfect water at a cost of $1.6 billion. I mean, what government agency looks to not spend that kind of money?
Well, the thing is, the science is not there. The scientific evidence has to come in to determine what is the benefit of this, if anything. Then a decision can be made based on what the benefit is it cost effective? That will be done.
Absolutely. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that we will be having a live show before the election. Right now, we're very hopeful it will be January 24th. That's Sunday morning from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. on CAN TV. By the time this is on the air, we'll already know, so we're pretty sure we're going to get the date. We've really been trying to play our cards right and position ourselves to be able to get that show, and we hope we'll be successful, and we hope you'll tune in. That it'll be on YouTube within 24 hours after it's up, and as well as the rest of the stuff. At this point, if people want to contact you,
312-422-5560.
And we'll probably have you back before the election because there's other races we want to talk about too. But you know what? Check the live show January 24th. And we're very hopeful right now that Tom Dart's going to join us in studio, God willing. And you know, one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people.
Yeah,
Not too many people can.
The live show is always a lot of fun, and a live guest will be even more fun.
Thanks so much, and stay tuned for the other segments. Thanks, Jim.